not gonna count down this time. Welcome back. Hey, welcome. Okay.
Yeah. Brian just don't be giving a damn about us.
At all.
We ain't get no countdown. He just like
nothing. He was just like, you know what? Cameras on. That was it.
But welcome back to the Miss O Show. If it is your first time tuning in, we see all these new people chiming in on Facebook. Thank you for chiming in and tuning in. I'm for sure it's because of these two lovely people that sit next to me. But I hope it's not your last time. But thank you for joining the Miss O Show with Swangin' and Nina. Tonight we're going to be discussing poly life, open relationships, marriages, all that good stuff. And we like to have, different topics, but we always like to bring someone on the show that is going to be able to have some knowledge about what we talking about, because we just be talking about what we talk about. We be going over our opinions. We not no experts, even though we think we are, but I'm just saying. So without further ado, I introduce to you on the Miss O Show, I have GoddessRozay next to me. Yes. Please give them a warm welcome.
Wait a minute. I'm sitting up here mad right now because it seems like every show there's a coordination everywhere except for right here.
I don't know what to tell you. You
don't check your emails. I'm sorry.
Something. It gotta be something. No text messages, nothing.
But again,
y'all,
thank
I love
you.
Me, though.
Yes. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Definitely.
First of all, again, I want to say, hearing y'all talk outside, I know you're just saying it's just y'all opinions, but y'all not that far off the mark, if at all, about the way you process it and explain it.
Oh, well, I love that. That's
let me find that out. A little something, you know what I'm saying?
Ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of education. Everyone
we
has
had
heard a little something.
Yes, we know a little bit, but we want to know more about you guys.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure I can speak for them, but I am so excited to hear about your whole journey and everything that goes on, and to give the real scoop, because a lot of people have all these assumptions and all these narratives that they have created behind it. So we are going to get the real scoop. So y'all, once you hear this, don't make up nothing else. They said what they said.
They said what they said. So as we always try to start the show off with our guests, we just like to, give a little background about who the guests are before we jump into the conversation. So if you guys can maybe tell a little bit about, each of you.
All right. So GoddessRozay here. I am from Houston, Texas. I graduated from Pineville, Louisiana. Shout out to Louisiana. I am a graduate of the Southern University Agriculture and Mechanical College in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Say something, goddamn.
Classic weekend, so go Jags! Go Jags!
Say it with pride.
Listen,
put some respect.
Y'all about to learn something today. Y'all about to learn something.
Bayou Classic weekend, so I just had to do a little razzle dazzle. So
of course, you better celebrate that.
So I've been happily married for 10 years.
Wow.
I am a wife. I am a mother. I am a worker. I am an entrepreneur. I am the things.
I am
all of that.
I love their energy, man. I can feel it.
Hey, boy, you got a pen. I'm gonna need to write something down. I got paper. I can write it down.
I love it. They stepped up in here. I felt like I was like Black Panther, and just when they stepped up in here, that whole energy was just like, yes. I felt it.
And here I'm just like a cowboy.
And what about you, sir?
Mr. EOE. I say I'm from Baton Rouge, but I'm really from a very small town called Bayou, Louisiana.
Wow.
I met my best friend at the Southern University in 2006. She said happily married 10 years. We've been together. Known each other 16 years.
Wow.
Father, son, husband,
Oh, you see how they look at each other.
You know,
I know.
all the things.
All the things.
As my sister would say, all the things. But as we would say, yeah, with the yeah.
I love it.
Look, you make me feel
Yo, I know, right?
Right. I was about to say, let's not say nothing. Let's just keep talking.
I mean,
Like, this joint is,
literally.
this is a love story.
It
for
really
real.
is.
I love it.
And you can just see how they look at each other.
know.
I'm like,
It's the
yo,
admiration.
after all
It's
those
just the
years.
light. It's just the lights. It's just
Oh, we all know it's different. Sometimes.
oh yeah.
but
Oh yeah.
it matters though, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Black love for us.
Absolutely.
It's been a game changer for us. So.
You know, back to what you said about the being gratefulness. We actually, when we go to bed at night, before we go to sleep, we say, "What are you grateful for today?
Aw,
What are you
I
grateful
love
for today?"
that.
And sometimes it's like, today was a really shitty day,
Right.
but I'm
Yeah.
grateful because X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
I love it.
I do too.
So let's talk about your journey. We heard about your marriage, but what made you decide to go the route of going poly?
All right, let me dispel the myth first. She pulled me into it.
Oh.
A lot of people.
Because you would think, like, yes, a lot of people
Exactly.
think it's the man that
Yeah,
wants to
that
do
the woman
it.
just
Being
reluctantly
greedy.
does it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there we go. One myth already. Okay.
Oh, I was gonna say the quick and dirty is we started off swinging and then we not transition, but then we added poly.
Okay,
to
so
our-
y'all going too fast. So she, because we gotta break it down.
Right.
Okay, so she,
I brought him into the lifestyle as well. So we call it LS for short.
but was this something that you were into, or like y'all been married, right?
Right.
Yes.
Was you into it before marriage or during marriage or like what?
So into it before marriage. I ended up, when I went to college, I went to get my education, but I also wanted to make sure that I knew what my body liked.
Okay.
So I wanted to have certain experiences so that when I did get married, it wasn't one of those situations where I had to kind of be like, ooh, I got a husband who is not doing it right.
Right.
So then I got to go
Yes.
out and find something else.
Right.
One, I wanted to be able to teach him, but I also wanted him to be able to teach me.
Wow.
And so, yeah, I kind of got into the lifestyle, basically wanting to know about who I was as a woman so that when I did get married, it wouldn't be any issues about us not being able to figure out what our collaboration was.
And when you said the lifestyle, you mean
So swinging.
so you were like into lifestyle swinging
Yes, trying
by
new things.
yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So here's the deal.
You being cute with your answer.
But- and-
She being real. She being real with it. She being real
I'm
with
being
it.
cute with it
But
because
the-
Mr. EOE is my best friend. So I would tell him about my liaisons when I was in college. So he
Okay.
knew what had happened. He just didn't know who it
But
was.
before that, before I came into the picture, her and her brother used to run women all.
Don't do that.
listen, wait a minute. Slide him on the play. Slide him on the play. You on the Miss O show. It's
No, we want to hear the real story. Yeah.
Yeah. Her and her brother used to host parties, and
Thank
they would get entertainment and
Thank you. Cute lady.
and go from there.
I would collect funds to
Okay,
make
I
sure
like that.
that people had gas and funding for their college careers.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, and so that's what you
You know
did
what I'm saying?
prior to, and then
Yes.
okay, so then you got into the
Yeah, just
like
seeing
the
what I like.
swinging and-
Yeah. Because I
Okay.
didn't start off really as a swinger as much as I just wanted to see what was out there in terms of sexual prowess.
But you were a swinger was you a swinger as a solo swinger?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
you were a solo swinger and then that's how you were able to introduce it to him.
Yeah.
Well, so for us again, best friends, so we would always just tell each other our whole stories to each other without saying names.
We didn't tell names.
And like, sometimes we would just make a night of it. We just be chilling, talking, telling each other our whole story and be like, ooh, what you should do next time is this. We give each other
Yeah.
tips.
That's a good. That's a friend. God damn it! Shout out to friends. Shout out to friends.
Back in that that day, I guess I would have been considered a unicorn, which is in the lifestyle as a single woman who.
Right. Yeah. Yes, that's what I was asking because I mean, there are some women who feel like, okay, in order to swing, you got to have like a person, like you have to go in as a partner. Well, you know what I'm saying?
Traditionally speaking, historically speaking, swinging was originally meant for couples.
Right? That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Sometimes I joke, but I mean it now. If you ain't swapping, you ain't swinging.
Okay, got you.
So
you started off doing it, and this was prior to you guys getting together in that romantic way?
Yes.
Okay, and then you...
Oh, it was years before we even got romantic with each other. Again, we'd just be kicking it. She'd have a boyfriend or whatever. I'd have a girlfriend or whatever. And we were kind of doing it without even knowing the actual name. It's like we would be laying in bed together, not necessarily doing anything sexual.
Right.
But yeah, we're friends. But honestly,
wait.
But honestly,
wait. No, wait. Wait a minute. Wait.
Oh no, that was so. Hold on, let me set the scene though. Let me set the scene. Ever since I met her, I've been trying to get with her.
Okay.
But I had to wear her down
because I wasn't having it.
But you said you had a girl and she would have a boyfriend, but y'all be laying in the bed together. And
just as friends. Like, not even cuddling or anything, but shout outs to the Palisades.
I know, right?
We would be in bed with each other just kicking it.
When I say this is my best friend, like, of course, some people had sex ed, some people didn't. Some people, parents told them about stuff. But legit, I didn't know what a clitoris was until I was 18.
Okay.
But how I found out was literally, I was sitting next to her, and she was like, "Do you know what a clit is?" And I was like, I got the idea. She took her drawers off. She opened her leg. She's like, "This is a clit." She's like, "Here, give me your hand."
That was a public service.
She was like, "Give me your hand." She was like, "Give me your hand." Yeah. So she grabbed my hand, and she's like, "Do this, do that." And in my head, I'm like, "Oh snap! I'm about to get some." I'm like, it's finally about to happen, and she's like, "Nah, all right, we good."
I just gave you a lesson.
Yeah, because
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
We please give kudos to the public service. But
here's the thing with
do a seminar.
Here's the thing with that. It was a conversation that she had with him. He had his wants, right? You had your wants. You wanted to, but she told you to take your time.
Yeah, well, basically, I mean, at that time, she had just gotten out of a long-term relationship, and she was like, "Look, I'm just trying to find myself and be free, figure out my likes and dislikes." And I'm like, "Nah, I'm trying to get with you." And she's like, "I'm good on that."
Right.
So, you respect it.
Oh, absolutely.
Friendship.
So, and we just stayed friends, and
look, here we are.
Here we are.
So how did the friendship turn into an actual relationship? And then when it turned into the relationship, was it automatically open? Or was it like y'all had a regular monogamous type relationship off the break?
Ooh,
that's a really good question.
So we've always been monogamish, I guess you could say.
I guess you could say we started off monogamish. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I first met my mother-in-law, his mom, she said that I was gonna be his girlfriend, and I was like, "Girl, you so cute." I'm like, "Yeah." And then what ended up happening is that my brother ended up getting married, and my brother, God bless him, hallelujah, that made me be like, "Okay, I might can consider this as something real." So that was what, May 2nd, and you're not May 2nd. 2000.
So you ain't gonna, so you really ain't gonna tell him that you asked me to be your boyfriend.
I did, and I did.
You ain't saying loud enough.
I asked him to be my boyfriend, but what had happened was,
well, before that, when we were just friends, and I was going through, I had my girlfriend, she had a boyfriend. She said it as a joke, but it still rings true to this day. She said, "If the woman you messing with don't do for you like I do for you as a friend, she ain't the one." And for me, it was like,
say the emotional intelligence of y'all.
I was like, cool. I want you to be the one.
Yeah.
But how did it switch from it's just my best friend, so I just always looked out for her and just take care of her. Like when she didn't have a car, take my car. I'm really big on taking care of my stuff,
Right.
she didn't have a car. Here, take my car. Go to work. Whatever. I'll see you later, etc., etc. One of my favorite stories to tell.
Go right on it.
She had it. No, she had a.
Hey, toss me that pen.
She had some kind of cyst or something on her leg, and we were at a college house party, and she had on white pants, and everybody just having a good time, and it looked like she got shot. Like there was just like blood or whatever, and we were like, "Are you okay?" She's like, "I'm fine," but like she's leaking. So at this point, I'm like, all right, we leaving the party. We drove around Baton Rouge. We went to like 5 different ERs because every time we went to an ER, they was like, well, there's a wait or we can't see you. And for me, it was like, no, she needs to be seen now. And she says after that moment is when she realized, all right.
That's the moment right there. That's the moment. There's no other moment. That's a wide opening moment right there. There you go.
Exactly. Because I always say you really know, and I actually did a post on this just recently, you really know when your person is when, like, you know, whether you're sick or when, like, you know, like you're not in a good space or the relationship is not in a good space. So you know, like, it's those moments when you're like, you know what, yeah, that's my person. Because of course, when things are good and you're happy,
it's easy.
And it's easy.
Yeah.
Oh, I love him. I love her. He does
Butterflies.
this. She does that. But you know, it's when you're like, you know, laid out in your own vomit, and they're like, "Baby, it's okay. I got you. I got you, baby. You know, you're still pretty to me." Yeah.
Yeah, we got them stories too.
That's so good.
So we've talked about y'all, right? Is there another party involved? Considering it's a polyamorous.
Can you be more specific?
Like, a friend, y'all are married, so I'm pretty sure it's not 2 wives or 2 husbands or anything.
So are you asking about our current dynamic?
Yeah.
Yes, that's what he's working his way to.
Well, currently,
Yeah.
that's a good question.
I have a girlfriend. She stays in Los Angeles, California, because I am bisexual. I don't consider myself to be biromantic, even though I guess I technically am, but that's because my biromanticism doesn't show up how some women want it to.
Can you explain what that word means?
Okay, yes. I got you.
Please.
So there's a difference between bisexual and biromantic. Bisexual is when you really are just having sex with somebody, but biromanticism doesn't even have to involve sex if you don't want it to. It really could just be intimacy with that person.
Yeah. Okay.
So I have had relationships with somebody who we were not sexually intimate with each other, but emotionally, that was my home.
That was y'all.
Yeah, for a
That was
time.
y'all.
I mean, that was us too. But
That
she,
was
you know, she also had another guy that she would talk to daily
Every single day.
It was non-sexual.
But
But
y'all had that biromantical relationship because you said it was non-sexual.
well, hold on, I'm not. I'm not biromantic.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah, bi would be like.
for
well,
you?
I'm not
how
saying
is it?
bi. Like
So we
that,
were romantic, just being friends, but
Yeah.
it eventually went sexual because I wanted to test out them lips. And they
First of all, say that over here. Say that shit over here.
so yeah, that's how I went sexual real quick.
Right.
But yeah,
But you know, I think I kind of understand the biromantical because I can hang out with someone that I have no sexual intentions for, and I can have a nice evening.
oh yeah.
You know?
But bi means that, you know, like.
Right.
Well, that's
dabble in
not
the
biromantical
No,
though.
bi.
that's not bi.
I get what he's. I get what he's
I
saying.
get what
Can you
he's
turn
saying.
my mic
He's
off
saying
real
about
quick?
directions. We're talking about sexual
We're talking
orientation.
about-
I got you.
Look, y'all about to find out. Y'all about to find out something new about y'all co-hosts.
We were like, wait a minute. We were like, no. Come back. We were like, come back. Wait a minute. We got you.
We was like, hold on.
It's all right. It's all right.
We got you.
You know,
We got you.
I thought he would have caught it when he said it to you, and you were like, no.
Exactly. We got you. We got you.
These terms got swinging all day.
They got words.
But see,
words have meaning.
that's why I'm here.
Yep.
That's why I'm here
got
to
you.
learn a little something.
Don't say the
To learn a little something.
Come back to the light. You going too
So
far.
you straight, right?
Straight up. asking this because so they can hear me.
No,
that's
so
the only fucking
what
reason.
I'm saying is you're buying nothing.
I'm buying.
You're buying nothing.
I don't even like saying bye right now.
He gonna say see you later.
You said bye. I will never say bye again. Never.
We got you.
Never.
We got you. Oh, guys. So
no
look,
goodbye.
Okay.
No bye-bye. No
Makisha said.
Bye is out of my vocabulary.
Makisha said, right. Hold up. I got questions, babe. Okay. She said she got questions. Okay. So speaking of that, because as you can see, it's very easy to get these terms all jacked up. So
absolutely.
Brian, can you put up that photo for me?
Oh yeah,
real quick. So this is a lifestyle, right? And it's so much more to it than just polyamorous. So these are all the different types of, I guess so it's more than swinging. So can you tell us about some of these here that's listed?
Well, one, just know that this isn't all encompassing. There are many different diagrams, many different terms, et cetera, et cetera. But the lifestyle, yes, is more than just swinging. It's more than, it can be just about sex, but it can be more than just sex.
Now, do y'all do, so there's...
Okay, I'll tell you what we do. This is what we'll help you out with. All right, so if we starting at the top, we got ethical polyamory. That's us.
Ethical polyamory.
So what is that then?
Yeah, you gotta do
ethical.
Explain it to us like
so ethical polyamory. Well, y'all were actually talking about it earlier before you did your inspirational talk about how you were saying, one of y'all was saying that, you know, these women are in these relationships and they don't even know it. Well, that's cheating. That's non-ethical.
And that's what I said.
That's ethical polyamory is just basically saying, look, everybody is aware of how I live my life, and the people that are involved with me are aware of how I live my life.
You're being ethical about what.
Right.
Okay, I get that. Okay, so
like y'all said earlier, some people like to say, "Oh, I'm poly." No, you cheating.
That part,
y'all heard him. Y'all heard him.
Point blank period.
Trying to do that.
Even though
Trying to Sinead. I know. You know, but it's people that try to play that card, and it's not the card to be played in what you doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's where it gets messed up.
And don't get it twisted. People cheat in polyamory too.
Exactly. Just because you're poly,
What
doesn't mean cheating can't happen.
What you agree with is what you agree with. Once you step outside of that.
Once you step outside of the agreement, it becomes.
So speaking about that, okay, when you guys decided that you wanted to open up your relationship, your marriage, or whatever, and y'all wanted to do this, I'm for sure y'all sat down and had a conversation about it. What were the conversation? What were the rules?
Ooh, yes.
Like what was the rules? How did it play out?
I mean, we still have those conversations because that's.
But your initial one, because I'm sure you keep tweaking it.
Oh, absolutely.
Your initial one, was it okay? We pick the person, or you get to pick the person, or it's only how did it go?
Ooh, so that is fun. So when we first started our polyamory journey, our intention was to have like a quad, and so that would be another couple that we wanted to do.
Okay, got you.
That, God bless, did not happen. The struggle is real. So then we decided to date separately. So one of our rules is that we do not have sex in our vehicle with any of our other partners.
Okay.
Now we will have sex in their
vehicle or rental cars, whatever. But our vehicle,
it is a space of our home.
So no spaces that are you guys' no share space home. Or
no.
Just the vehicle.
That's just the vehicle.
In our bedroom as well for now, unless both of us are here, and that's because we have children as well.
So,
yeah, but we've never brought anybody into our
not until
bedroom.
Exactly.
Yes, we have.
Yeah, we have swapped before.
At that time that y'all just spoke about when y'all was like,
it was the intention to swap, as in one party may have not been available to swap, but the intention was for all four parties involved to deal with each other.
Okay, so the rule. So one of the rules was no in your personal cars.
In our personal car.
So I'll give you one that we started off with that we don't go by anymore. Is originally when we started, we were like, hey, and it's actually stemmed from us swinging as a safety precaution because a lot of fuck shit happens sometimes. We were like, anytime you're gonna have sex with somebody new for the first time, the other person must be present.
Yeah.
Just for safety reasons.
Okay.
Yeah. This is so
But you said y'all don't do that anymore.
But we don't do that anymore because we've gotten to a point where we understand how to navigate those spaces, how not to put ourselves in compromising situations.
Yep. Okay.
And we also realized how restricting that was to the other people we're involved
No,
with.
I can get that.
So, for us it's like, oh yeah, that's cool, but if they wanted to get down, he like, yeah, I ain't he like, look, I'm cool, but like I ain't trying to be in the same room as your husband. And it's
yeah. No, I understand.
For me, it'd be a dick move to be like, well, if you trying to fuck my wife, you got to do it in front of me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how niggas do.
Right.
Sometimes, yes, they do.
So we have a question from our listeners. Zhivago wants to know, so are they FetLife? Question, do they go to munches or parties to meet others?
So we do not have a FetLife account, but we are into BDSM.
We are. We have our kings.
Yeah, explain.
Bondage, domination, sadomasochism.
Sadomasochism or submission master.
Submission master.
Yeah.
And then you put into submission and dominant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we are into that. We do go to parties.
We do go to parties.
Not just LS. Shout outs to Culture Class.
Shout out Black Poly Nation.
Shout out Black Poly Nation. So we have our different places where
I just have to say this. Listen to me. One thing that I just love about y'all in this is that you can really tell that y'all are friends. Like hearing them talk about it, like it's not like you can tell that they are on one accord.
Like we didn't know y'all was married. We would
and
definitely
they're on one accord. Like it's fun. Like they you know what I mean?
Reunion. And I'm glad that people are seeing
not
this.
that free, though.
But let me tell you,
a lot of married people not friends.
Yeah,
that
part. So I mean, we know that you guys have been doing this and you still do it and everything. So what have been some of the challenges though with this though? Because
jealousy and envy.
Well, that's what I was gonna say.
It
because
happens.
I mean, like we were talking about that before you guys came on, and it's like and I was saying to Mark, I'm like, yeah, well, if a guy is giving it to her better than or she's reacting better than you would, or if he is acting different with this woman than he does with you, or whatever the case is, sometimes, I mean, we're humans.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I don't care what nobody says. We're humans, and seeing some of those types of emotions and reactions, the average person is gonna feel like, wow,
you're gonna get in your feelings.
You're gonna get in your feelings.
Even being seasoned or whatever word you want to call it, we still getting her feelings.
Yeah.
She just went out on a date last Monday, and I was hot. I was heated.
He said hot.
Y'all went out. Well, she went out on a date last Monday. You was hot. What calmed you down? Did her coming home at 10 o'clock instead of 12 calm you down, or did you actually go within yourself and say, you know what,
we're
this
good?
Is what it is.
Right.
So it was a little bit of both. Cause so I will. So first I'm gonna back up. Jealousy and envy are not the same. A lot of people use those two words interchangeably, but they're not the same. Envy is when you see something somebody else have and you want it, whereas jealousy is something you have, you're afraid someone's going to take it from you.
Yeah, there you have it. That's a good breakdown.
It is.
So when she went out on her date, I was heated. I was hot. I was in my feelings. I was jealous.
Now, wait. Were you jealous because she was going out, or were you jealous because did you get to see the guy she was going out with? Or
no.
What was it that made you jealous?
So this I'm glad you asked that. This was the first time where I have not met a guy that she's entertaining.
Okay.
And just again, we're tweaking. We're trying different things because on one hand you may think you down for this shit, and you get in a situation you like, yo, I ain't like that at all. Yeah. And then another situation where you be like, nah, I ain't cool with that. But then you look back and be like, that wasn't bad at all.
Okay. Gotcha.
So to answer your question, what calmed me down was we talked through it. Like she stayed up with me till like 2 a.m. And we were
I did.
She went to sleep. Which pissed me off again because I'm like, how you gonna fall asleep? And I'm trying to talk to you.
I've been up
I
since,
gotta go to work.
baby, I was up since 5 o'clock that first morning. I ain't even get my adult nap in. I was go. I went to work.
So she came back. You were in your feelings. She came back and
she told me she was like she had a great time, etc. So for me, it takes me. I have like a 36-hour cycle.
Okay.
As far as like processing information and coming to terms with it. And honestly, the part that helped me calm down is it wasn't even talking to her, and she expressed to me afterwards when I told her, because she then got mad about that conversation. I actually called my former partner because we still talk, and I was like, yo, I need some guidance. I was like, work. I don't know how to
ever,
but it will.
So I explained the situation, and she's like, so what's the problem? And I was like, I'm in my feelings. She's like, yeah, but why?
Right.
I was like, she had a good time. She came home safely. What you mad about? Just be happy for her and support her. And I was like, you right.
Right. So you went on a date. So when you guys do what you do, is it just purely for sex? Or is it for like actual, like, okay, I'm talking to this person on a regular basis, I'm going on dates, I might have some emotional investments, I might be like, because that's a little scary, because a lot of swinging or a lot of poly lives or a lot of open relationships are kind of just based off of sex.
Convoluted.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of based off of sex, and especially for women, because once we start getting emotional with the guy, it's kind of like once our emotion gets tapped in, it's a little different, because a lot of times, of course, men are physical. So men can have sex with somebody and they might not be like, it was exercise. So, I mean, you guys are saying that it's just not sex. Y'all might actually go out on dates and see
not even have
other
sex
people
at all sometimes.
So the reason why we even transitioned kind of away, not I want to say away from, but added poly to us, because honestly the fucking got boring. Just meeting somebody random.
Yes,
damn, I love the
it got boring. So
my
for me,
God.
I don't want to speak for her, but for me,
wow,
I got to the point where it was like, I don't want to just be having sex with random women. I want to, if I'm gonna have sex with somebody, I want to have a connection with them.
Okay.
I want to be, have some level of emotion behind it. I was in a relationship with another woman for like 14 months, actually.
You mean in this situation?
Yeah, while we were married, I fell in love with another woman.
Wow.
So how does that work time-wise? Like,
it's a lot of
scheduling.
It's a lot of scheduling.
It's a decision, I think, at the end of the day.
It's a lot of scheduling.
People make time for what they want to make time for.
Is it predetermined time, or is it just, hey, we want to go?
Sometimes it's the agreement. Yeah. So what ended up happening is that when he was in his relationship, we were at an Aldi. That's how I remember it. And they were trying to figure out when they were going to meet up with each other. And I was like, okay, so this is where I need y'all to try. I need y'all to pick a day. That's going to be the day you go and see her every single day of the week. Figure it out. Because for right now, having this leeway of, we don't know when we're going to see this limbo, this jump rope, it's not working for her because she wants to see you, and it's not working for me.
It wasn't.
It wasn't work for
the fly by night thing. It's cool at first, but like when you're talking about
a relationship,
they
got kids, relationships,
So it's like,
you got vacations that you have to plan are already done. If they have, because his partner or my partner could have another partner. Honestly, I prefer my partners to have. I prefer my partners to have a primary partner.
Because I already got my primary partner.
I want to be secondary.
That makes perfect sense, because time-wise, you ain't gonna be so pressed about time. Go over there with them, and then you come back.
I see you when you get back. Yes, sir.
What you got?
Now, I heard what y'all just said, right? My thing is, so everything is pretty much open field.
What do you mean
for my understanding is this, and I could be 100% wrong, but my understanding was a couple of people. It doesn't matter how many, but a couple of people understood the relationship that they had with themselves. So they never stepped outside of that little box that they created, whether it was man and two women or woman and two men. My aunt, she has two
partners,
guys,
two partners. Right, I got you.
So it goes both ways. But if the field is just fucking open to do what you want to do, then like where's the
so the word you're looking for is constellation.
There we go.
If you were to draw it on a diagram, it would look like a constellation where we're tethered to each other, and there I got my person, she got her person. There might be a person for both of us, but they got that. For us, we didn't want to put restrictions on other people. Like how would that look? I'm married, but I'm dating her, and I'm telling her, "Oh, you can't mess with nobody else but me."
Right. I'm cool with that.
I'm not.
Nigga, do your thing.
Gotcha.
Do your thing, shawty. As long as you're not putting your claws in me, then do your thing. But if we make an agreement of, okay, it's this, and this, it could be like 6 people, not all to one person, but it stays in that realm.
If you wanted
back to what you're saying. If you want to have that agreement with those people, we choose not to have those
restrictions.
Those are what you would call closed dynamics. We don't believe in having closed dynamics.
So you guys are open.
Yeah.
But the reason why is because it makes no sense. I am a peacock and I want to fly. Let me fly. But
Freedom.
It would be crazy of me to tell one of my other partners that they couldn't have another partner when I am happily married and making sure that me and him is good. That would be crazy to me. But past all that is the fact that, like, even for my girlfriend, I want her to find her husband. Like, I know that the dudes that she is, like, engaged and are talking to now, she gonna tell them about me. And that works for me. When it comes to a guy that I may be talking to, I would prefer him to have a primary partner because I ain't always gonna be there. I never forget, I had friends and I told them, and this was probably 2018, and we were driving to a brunch somewhere, and we was in the car, and I don't know what happened. I was like, I need to get Mr. EOE a girlfriend. And they looked at me and they was like, what? It was then that I started manifesting it.
I would do the same
thing. Actually,
do something with yourself.
So what happened on my end was I had went out to DC and I was driving back home and I was actually sleepy because this was during the week, I had taken off, and she was at work. And this my best friend. So it's like, when we ain't really doing work, we be talking to each other. But this particular day, she was working, but I was falling asleep, and I was like calling her, but she couldn't answer because she was working. And I actually ran off the road. Everything fine. But it was that I got mad at her because she wasn't available to answer the phone. She was like, "Nigga, I'm working." She was like, "Find a girlfriend." She said,
"Find something with somebody to do."
What a hobby, goddamn.
Call her.
Right, so
I see you both have your crystals on your necklace, okay, and your earrings and all of that. So my question is, how do you guys go about cleansing your spirits from all these different spirits and souls that you are engaging with? I mean, like, because there's soul ties and you guys have the soul ties, and then when you go with someone, you're soul tied with that person and all the people with that person, and you guys are exchanging all of that. Like, what are your grounding rituals? How do you come back and make sure you guys are good? Because people think of being safety as far as just protection and all of that, but it's safety as far as cleansing your soul and your spirit. So how do you guys do that in that type of realm where there's so many different exchanges of energy?
So let me go first, and then you take it out. When we done been out with anybody else and we come back to each other, we polish onto each other.
I love it. I love polish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. All right.
So,
as GoddessRozay, I have a business called Obsidian Wrap. So the crystals that you see on both of us, I wrap them.
Oh, okay. I love it.
So I am a certified crystal minerals practitioner.
Put that level 2
But that's
on
for
there.
Reiki.
Okay,
I do all of I do all of that. So one of the things about it is that, especially when even he will go out the door, and it doesn't even have to be for a date, even if it's just for work. I'm asking him, "You got your protection? Not his protection, just that, but also his spiritual protection." So basically, what I prefer to do is do a ritual of cleansing with sage to get negative energy off. Now, for me, I wrap lavender. I grow it sometimes. I have eucalyptus if it has something to do with breathing. Different sages mean different things. You have different responses for them. So the sage will get all the negative energy off.
White sage.
Especially
But
white
all
sage.
the negative. But the white sage would also take out the positive
Exactly.
too.
That's why just wipe everything.
But the Palo Santo is what I
is
do
what you
afterward,
do.
because it brings the positive
Positive
energy
back.
back in.
Yes,
So
yeah.
even when I'm wrapping crystals and are sending them out, for the most part, I'll wait after even a moon. So like there's a new moon coming up on Wednesday. So if you have anything new you're trying to begin, it's in Sagittarius, this is the time to start putting those manifestations out. Even when it would come to me wanting to manifest something for him in terms of a relationship or myself, because I don't even necessarily do it all the time for myself. That's the wonderful thing. I don't like to waste my manifestations.
That's right.
So when it comes to those things, even when it comes to different partners, I have to like vet them. And that is a conversation of seeing where their head is at. Because honestly, especially for me, I do not like to partake of a penis if it is not high vibrational. Since we're talking about low vibrational plates.
Talk about high vibrational.
If it ain't high vibrational, I don't want
to
it.
have that same
Yes.
type. Seriously,
I'm so glad you are saying all of these things, because people have the most ignorant narratives about this whole thing, and you guys are doing an excellent job of showing your emotional intelligence and the way that you've thought it out, and that it's not something you're just doing to do.
But I also think that everything is not for everybody.
Yeah.
You
Agreed.
know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
People,
Everything is
it's
not
like
for
people can't
everybody.
separate that.
It's
sometimes.
not.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody.
It's
Yeah.
not. And I think that's
there's no wrong answer as
Right.
long as you're not hurting anybody else
Yeah.
Right.
intentionally.
Right.
Because, you know, shit happens. People's feelings get hurt. But as long as you're being ethical and honest and consistent.
Yeah.
And consistent.
Right.
Um,
I think you good.
you're
Yeah.
good.
But where's the consistency at?
Who?
So that depends on the person, because some people confuse consistency with frequency.
Yep.
See, me, I require consistency and frequency, whereas she's just more of just consistency. It doesn't have to be as frequent with her.
Right.
So again, it goes back to that agreement that you make with whoever you're dealing with.
So I want to make sure we get these questions out, because God, I can't even believe it's 9:42. But you guys did mention kids, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So how does that play into part? So like, you know, your kids, are they young?
Yes.
Okay, so they're young now. Say once they get older, and you know, is this a conversation that you guys will have with your kids?
It's
or
a conversation we have
we've
with them
already
now.
had the
You've already had
Yeah.
it. And how did that go? How does that look?
So for me, before I answer your question, I grew up in a non-monogamous household. My mom only dated married men. Her rationale was, when I'm done with them, they can go back to where they were. But to the point where, to a certain degree, she had some type of relationship with whoever the married man's wife was. Didn't necessarily like be on speaking terms, but it's like, look, I see you, you see me, whatever.
You know what it is.
My mom, I grew up in a very sex positive house, home, so that wasn't a taboo subject for me.
Okay.
So when it comes to our kids,
Okay.
you know, we don't like tell them. Like our oldest daughter, she's wisen up, but when she asks questions,
We give it
You
a
give
give
them
it an
answers, right?
and like, and she'll look and she'll be like, "Oh, okay." If it don't make sense, she'll keep asking, and when it makes sense, she'll be like, "All right." Like I said, one of my previous partners, she had 2 girls. We had 2 girls. We would go to her house and hang out. Sometimes they came to our house. We did a movie night. Her girls watched our girls while
We went on a double
we
date.
went out on
Yeah,
a
that was
double
my
date.
next question. If they actually got to see them, okay.
Yeah.
So the part B to that is, you're showing them this type of lifestyle, do you want your kids to live that same type
No,
of
we
lifestyle?
want them to live what works best for
them.
For
Yeah.
Right, right.
Like we have 2 books already that we know that we're going to probably require them to read regardless, and that's Ethical Slut and More Than Two. Now, the other books that we have are, very rounding it out as far as being black and and I'm thinking of the miseducation of the Negro as well. But we have like their on-set booklets that we're going to have them required to read as they get older. But it is one of those things where if they ask questions, we're going to give them an honest answer. These kids are smart, y'all.
Yeah.
Ain't no point in lying to them.
Right.
If you don't tell them, they going to go get the
Answer from somewhere.
I would rather you just come and ask me, and even if I don't know the answer, like, hold, let me get back with you.
And plus, you'd rather it come from you.
Yeah.
You know?
If you're laying in someone else's house, your own house, with a different face, then your kids see that.
Oh, yeah.
And they see who you sleep with, right?
For them,
To a
certain extent.
Not literally.
Sneaking them through the basement.
Right.
But they'll see them as auntie this or uncle this.
Well, that's daddy's friend.
They know me.
Yeah.
Because even when he and his partner had broken up with each other, their day was Wednesday. Baby, the oldest one, I call her the president.
Yeah, our oldest child, I was home one Wednesday. She was like, Daddy,
why you went home?
I was like, what you mean? She was like, it's Wednesday.
Because I had a plan for her. Like, we knew what it was girls' night. We knew what we was doing. We knew what laundry we was putting up. We had a plan. We knew what books we was reading. So when daddy's energy is there, we like
what's going on?
I like it, but I don't like it.
Right.
So let me ask you, do you see this as a forever thing? Do you ever see that you guys could possibly decide that you want to close it and just be just you guys?
Take that as a no. I was like, I could feel the no brewing.
I knew that drink before the question came up.
Look, don't get it twisted. Poly, love, romanticism, all that is great, but we like to fuck too. So,
Right. So has there ever been a situation where the rules were broken?
Ooh, yes. Yes, there have been instances. I've broken one of the rules one time. Yep.
Shame on you.
Yep, and I had to talk to you about it, and we had to communicate, and it was, it still might be a battle that we're still, walking through.
Yeah.
But we're definitely in a better space. I tell you that communication definitely doesn't stop. Exactly. See,
Look, he don't even that means that's confirmation and forgiveness.
Like, you know what? Okay.
I'm over it.
but I'm just sitting here. I'm trying to think.
What rule? That's a good thing. He was looking like next question.
Men don't follow those traumas as much as women. Do you think so? Or no?
I'll disagree with that. I feel like men are just as emotionally adept and capable as women are. It's just that
capable, yes.
I feel like we just haven't been allowed to express it. That's all.
Yeah, there you go. So, okay, what are you guys' thoughts on like traditional monogamy? Do you feel like, because I have my brother and whatever, and like some men that I know have always been like, it is a concerted effort to be monogamous.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's not natural. And women feel that way too. Like, a lot of women feel that way too. It's not a natural thing for somebody to be with one person in a relationship and, okay, I'm forbidden to ever be with anyone else. So, do you feel like when it comes down to monogamy, do you feel like it's going to kind of be a thing in the past? Do you feel like more relationships are going to be starting to become open?
I think that they will if they have a conversation with themselves about it. But I do think that traditional monogamy is not wrong. And I think if you find your partner and your partner finds you and y'all have the agreement to love each other in and out. Because I will tell you this, as being a wife, that some of the work that we do for our husbands makes them more attractive. Point blank, period.
Right.
Sometimes it ain't even got nothing to do with the doggone ring on their finger as much as it has to do with the energy of you pouring into your man.
Right, yeah.
And him thriving. And the same could be for a man doing the same to his woman, where she becomes more attractive than they were when other people may have met them. So that is the concerted effort of not falling into, I guess you could say, what some people would call the lion's den. But if you love your partner, then I don't feel like anybody can take you away from them.
Right.
I feel like that is a decision. And if you don't want to be with your partner, then cheating should just not even be a part of the conversation. And that's because all you have to do is have a conversation with them about what your needs are.
Right.
Especially if you are married to somebody you are friends with. So traditional monogamy is, I don't feel, what I would call, quote unquote, a thing of a past. However, I do feel that if some people are starting to be more honest with themselves and are working through indoctrinations that they may have, then they may consider certain things. But I love traditional monogamy, especially for some of the people that I know who are doing it. I have a best friend right now. God bless, she just had my little niece. She is in a traditional monogamous marriage, and it's beautiful. It is beautiful to see.
Yeah, I think traditional monogamy will always have its place.
Right.
I just feel like long as the two sides don't try to discredit the other.
Right.
And that's what I was talking about, about the box. The box is traditional. The box or the vibe? The box.
Don't Brian! Look, Brian could help himself.
You don't put that
He was worried about that one, though. He was worried about that one. He ain't said nothing all day.
Sorry.
Brian ain't said nothing. I was like, wait a minute, Brian got jokes.
He got jokes today.
But yeah, the traditional is the actual religious side of it.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But again, people abuse the term polygamy right now. Polyamory.
But
yeah,
they abuse it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, there will always be a place for traditional monogamy.
All my sisters and brothers are in traditional.
Yeah.
You know, right now you just see the swing from traditional monogamy to non-monogamy, but you know, the regression to the mean, it'll swing back. I
just feel like people are starting to reject traditions now and starting to actually think for themselves. So I feel like it's going to be a mix of both. So I think what's going to happen is that people who choose monogamy, they're truly choosing monogamy.
Yes.
Rather than just,
oh,
I was told this is what it needs to be.
Exactly.
Like I am choosing monogamy or the opposite.
Yeah, and that's definitely key. I think for me, because I'm engaged, we'll be married this year. Thank you. We can get this daggone wedding together. But I mean, for me personally, I have a hard time just dealing with one person.
Facts.
So I'm sorry.
I mean, look, you got multiple best friends.
No, I don't.
No,
the hell I don't.
They are stressful.
No, the hell I don't. I got a child that is 18, and that's enough in itself. She's 18. That's a lot in itself. And I can count on one hand my friends. Okay. And you know, and I have my fiance and my family and my life, and I have me. So me takes up so much space because I put so much energy into myself.
As it should.
So I mean, just dealing with, and I'm really big, so I'm an empath, so I take on people's energy. So it is hard for me to like, I gotta really reset myself, reground myself when I'm around different people and I'm in different environments and around different, like, so it is a lot to just deal with one person and to, like, you know, because even when I was single, I tried the dating multiple people.
Didn't work for you.
No, because I was like, y'all getting on my fucking nerves.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want none of y'all answers because y'all getting on my fucking nerves. Like, no, I can't deal with all y'all getting on my nerves. No, I don't want to go out to dinner. I take y'all getting on my nerves. So, I mean, that's why I said I think that it's definitely a a personal thing, but I love that. I love it because the flip side of all of that is I'm an extremely sexual person. You know, like I'm a very sexual person. I'm very open to all of that. You know what I mean? I'm open to women. I'm open to men. You know what I'm saying? So, well, not really open to men. Because here's the kicker. If I was open to opening up my relationship, it would be with a woman. I wouldn't be into a man, another man,
and that's okay.
Yes, I wouldn't be into another man. You know, I can only deal with one man energy. But I just
know thyself.
I know myself. You know, I love feminine energy.
You got a joint coming to your crib.
Wait, what did he say? I didn't even hear that.
It was just deep. That's all we heard.
Apparently he heard it because
I was gonna say, you brought up a good point, and you spoke about it earlier about a lot of times all of us, not even poly, swinging, whatever, we have a tendency of just neglecting ourselves.
Yes.
We put our careers first, our kids first, our partners first. Man. You know, I still struggle with it to this day. You know, thank God for therapy.
Yeah, we all do.
Therapy.
I know, right? That's what you need to be ringing the bell.
That needs the bell.
Yeah.
But therapize myself every day.
He said therapize. Is that a word, sir?
Yes, indeed.
It's a word today.
Black Google.
There you go. But yeah, like I was saying, you brought up a good point of, you know, we all have to make a concerted effort to put ourselves first, regardless of what your dynamic is.
So this is what I'll tell y'all. One key thing is that even though we talk about priorities, I have, like this year, I make us take ourselves out on dates. Once a month.
That. Yeah.
And that is regardless of who is a partner or whatever like that. Even if I have to pay for his to go on a retreat or something over a weekend, or even to go have him watch a movie by himself.
Just to be clear, we have our date night, but we gift each other a solo date.
That's beautiful.
It's like, look, you get out the house.
I got the people, I got the children.
I love that.
I got the kids.
I love that.
Go out
and
helps. Just spend time
with yourself.
I think the biggest thing that
needs to be a thing no matter what.
It does.
It's cheaper for you to send her by herself.
And I think the biggest takeaway from just talking to you guys is that, you know, you guys seem like you really have communication. Like y'all really talk about things, and y'all, you know what I'm saying? I think that's the problem, is that a lot of people, you know, there may be like, oh, I want more sex. I need more sex. I need more emotional intimacy. I need more mental stimulation. I need more of this, but they don't even share that with their partner. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they go run on Facebook and they will post
me.
Right.
No, they'll post a whole paragraph to some strangers about, so how do I say this to my partner? And we be like, just say that.
Or it's more about I than it is the other person. It's more about I.
And sometimes you do have to be selfish, though.
Yeah, you do.
Like you do.
I feel like the self-awareness is extremely important.
Thank you.
Because before you make the rules with each other, you got to make the rules for
yourself.
And be honest with yourself and
you
say,
have
this is what I'm with, this is what I'm not with. And a lot of times people just try to fit into, oh, this is what it's about. It's not that. The self-awareness is big.
And like you said earlier, also understand that rules and agreements are fluid.
Yeah.
Just because it's an agreement today doesn't mean. And just because it's not today,
it needs to be a mutual decision to change.
I agree. So we have a few minutes left because it's 9:57. Oh my God, we're gonna have to do a part 2. But for the people that is interested, you know, in possibly, you know, being in a open relationship, or if they're already married and they're possibly interested in opening up their marriage or whatever, like what advice would you give them, or what steps would you give them into, you know, possibly opening up their relationship?
Understand why you are doing it first. Figure out why you are doing it first. If you're doing it for somebody else, please don't. If you're not doing it for yourself, then don't do it.
That part.
Be committed to doing the work. Whether you're monogamous or not, it takes work to be successful in anything you're doing. You're going to have uncomfortable conversations. You're going to get in your feelings. You're going to
have jealousy,
envy, etc., etc. Own that shit. Do the work to fix it and communicate.
Ooh, do your research as well.
Please do your research.
Because even if somebody tells you something, that may not apply to you. So do your research so that you know what they're talking about and know what you're talking about concerning yourself as well. Yes, they do.
Yeah, they definitely do.
Yes.
Zhivago said, one of our listeners said, the number one thing I take away is that their open relationship has open minds, open hearts, and open communication.
That's
I like
nice.
that.
I know. And he don't be saying that stuff. Zhivago don't be saying that. Like, he must be really touched.
Really? Like, it's the thing of, like, you introduce him to this. He didn't introduce
Yeah, that's
you
the
to
biggest
this.
part, yeah.
Like, sometimes, like, most swingers, well, I'm not even going to get it. We can talk about that.
Yeah, we got
Because
you.
we got to get
yeah.
ready to go. We got to get ready.
Okay, so, I don't know if you want to give out your information or, you know, if you...
Social media?
You do the crystals and all of that?
Yes.
Yeah, so give out your...
So
your
at
information.
Obsidian Raps, I'm Lit Mama Rose on Instagram. Don't add me on Facebook. If y'all not my friend in real life, I ain't gonna add you.
That part, what she said.
IG is 360 Thoughts. Yeah, I ain't got no crystal rapping business. I work through her.
He goes,
Yep.
your crystals, yes. He
Mr.
gets all your good juju.
So yeah, GoddessRozay, Mr. EOE.
Yep. You do have the Sip and Smoke book club.
Oh,
So-
wait. Okay,
I don't know. We ain't got.
You know what?
Real
Said
quick.
he ain't had nothing.
Real quick.
Yeah.
All
Go
right,
ahead.
real. Wow.
Sip and
So
Smoke.
I'm putting together a book club. It's called Sip, Smoke, and Read.
Oh,
It's
I
a
love
book
it.
club for. It's a book club for black men who smoke cigars. You don't have to smoke cigars to participate.
But women, I
But-
smoke cigars.
As do I.
But I wanted to create a space for
For
black men.
And you
'cause-
guys need that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. So they'll find out information when they follow you
I'll
on
post the
360.
information on my Instagram since I'm being forced to now.
You
So-
are. She pushing you to go.
That's what women do.
You've been
Women gonna
tagged
make you
already.
remember.
Yeah.
They got it.
All right, we gotta go, Brian, and put out the music. Like, look, I ain't got to go, but y'all gotta get the hell out
Not
of
the
here.
Sandman.
But again, thank you guys for joining us. Thank y'all for
Thank you for
giving
having
us
us.
Thank you
all
for
this
having us.
information. Beyond that, thank you for this beautiful, lovely, amazing energy that you guys have given. Because I'm sitting next to y'all and I feel it and I love it. And even the listeners have too. I mean, I like Zhivago said, I feel the friendship. I feel the love. You know, I feel the communication, the commitment, and that's what it's all about. Whether it's monogamous relationship, poly relationship, or whatever, you have to have that strong foundation which you guys have had. And I wish you, the whole Miss O show, and all of us wish you so much love, success, continued love for many, many, many,
Thank you,
many
thank you.
plus years.
I'm imposing.
I'm about to say we hope to come.
Posing myself.
We hope to come back again.
Yeah, we're gonna do a part 2. We'll do a part 2. So, all right, guys, listen. We gotta get off of here real quick. Make sure you vote for us. Rippies 2022.com. All right, so it's Rippies2022.com. Best show. Vote best show. Okay, that's what we want to do. Best show. Make sure you guys vote for us, and we will see you next time. Thank you so much for joining the Miss O Show.